3 separate warnings are active today and most people have no idea. Right now, North Dakota families are waking up to 55 miles per hour wind and bone-dry air. Before Sunday night, that same energy is going to produce a tornado outbreak across the plains. What I'm laying out covers a weather window straight through May 21st. No joke at all. When I first pulled these models up this morning, the setup stopped me cold, flat out. 6 days of severe weather are locked in, and this is only the opening act. Of your city below, I will personally track your area with updates tonight. All right, folks, let's start with what is on the ground today because it is serious. North Dakota is under a red flag warning, gusts 35 to 45 miles per hour out of the west.
Oh my God, it's right here!
Divide, Burke, Ward, Burley, Stutzman, the entire western and central corridor is baking. A wind advisory stacks on top of that through 3 this afternoon, gusts up to 55 miles per hour. Borderline hurricane force wind on bone-dry grassland with no rain in sight. 1 spark does it. Western and central North Dakota, please confirm your fire evacuation plan before noon today. Think about somebody like Dale, a wheat farmer outside Bismarck, waking up this morning. He opened his barn door to gusts, rattling the walls with humidity down near single digits. That is the reality on the ground today in North Dakota, not a statistic, a real situation. Any fire that starts in those conditions today will move faster than emergency crews can respond. If you are in that region, Rolette, Wells, McLean, Sheridan, stay close to your phone today. Now here is where the story gets bigger because this is not only about North Dakota. Storm Prediction Center has a slight risk level 2 out of 5 centered over Kansas. Manhattan, Emporia, Topeka, that is your first severe weather target of this 6-day stretch. Storms are conditional today, but if they fire, all hazards are on the table this evening. Baseball-size hail, winds over 60 miles per hour. Isolated tornado chance near sunset, do not get caught. A shortwave piece of energy is riding the mid-levels of the atmosphere, that is the match. Mark my words, by this evening the cap breaks and those storms will go, good Lord. Wichita sits right on the edge of the marginal risk area with damaging wind gusts possible. Salina and Concordia, Kansas, the I-70 corridor is your specific watch zone tonight, heads up. Let me walk you state by state for tonight's window so you know what is coming. Kansas, you are the bullseye this afternoon. Storms fire near I-70 around 6 to 7 p.m. Iowa, Illinois, Wisconsin, a complex of strong thunderstorms builds overnight around 3 a.m. Quincy, Peoria, St. Louis, you might get woken up tonight by some serious rumbles. Heads up. Minnesota has energy pushing through today, not fully loaded, but do not sleep on it. Interior New England is looking at 1 to 2 inches of heavy rain through tomorrow morning. Vermont, New Hampshire, upstate New York. This rain will be relentless for the next 36 hours. Flash flooding is possible in southern Vermont and western Massachusetts through Friday morning. Southeast is staying quiet for now, and honestly, that gap is not going to last much longer. All right, that covers today. Now let me get into Friday because this setup is something else. Friday carries another slight risk right where Iowa, Missouri, Nebraska, and Kansas all connect. Des Moines and Kansas City sit in the yellow zone. I have high confidence on supercells Friday. Here is the number you need to lock in hailstones 3 inches in diameter. Size of baseballs. When I saw 3-inch hail on models this morning, I had to double check it, not going to lie. If your vehicle is outside near Kansas or Nebraska Friday afternoon, get it under cover now. Damaging winds 45 to 65 miles per hour are likely, plus a low-end tornado threat cannot be ruled out. Storm Prediction Center has no tornado risk outlined for Friday, yet I think that changes today. If any supercell stays surface-based near Des Moines after sunset Friday, that is your tornado window. Here's what makes Friday particularly tricky. The storms will be elevated for much of the day. Elevated thunderstorms drop giant hail from thousands of feet up but cannot produce tornadoes early on. Once they become surface-based near sunset, that is when the tornado threat actually turns on. The transition window from elevated to surface-based is when you need to be watching your alerts closely. Overnight Friday, thunderstorms push through southern Iowa and northern Missouri with damaging winds. Chicago, you might hear thunder around 4 or 5 in the morning Saturday. Those storms are coming. Indianapolis and St. Louis, Saturday morning leftover energy brings gusty winds and spotty large hail. Folks, I need to stop right here because what Saturday reveals about this pattern is genuinely wild. Here's the thing the forecast community quietly started saying among themselves 2 days ago. Saturday is not the event. Saturday is the atmosphere loading the gun for Sunday and Monday. Storm Prediction Center mentions a strong tornado threat and hail exceeding 3 inches Saturday. A large slight risk stretches from eastern Colorado all the way through Iowa and Missouri Saturday. Kansas, Nebraska, Missouri, Iowa, you 4 states are the core of Saturday's dangerous corridor. An enhanced risk upgrade for Saturday would not surprise me at all before tomorrow morning. Low-level winds Saturday come out of the south and southwest, the classic tornado ingredient locked in. Here's the kicker: Saturday's supercells could go nocturnal, meaning tornadoes after dark, plain and simple. Nighttime tornado warnings are a whole different level of danger. Your warning window shrinks dramatically. You cannot see a wall cloud at midnight, a warning fires while your family is asleep. Your weather alert must wake you Saturday night. That is the whole ball game right there. Mobile home residents in Kansas, Nebraska, and Iowa, you need an off-site shelter plan for Saturday night. No manufactured home is safe in a tornado warning. Please identify your shelter ahead of time. Now let me share something the forecast community has been watching closely for 3 days straight. The Southern Oscillation Index dropped from positive 11 in February all the way down to negative 9. That full atmospheric reversal is a leading indicator of what the subtropical jet stream does next. When that index goes negative and keeps dropping, the subtropical jet wakes up fast and furious. It pulls deep tropical moisture from the Gulf northward. That faucet is opening as I speak. Gulf water temperatures are running above average. Caribbean moisture is already getting pulled in. Precipitable water values could hit 2 to 2.7 inches, the measure of atmospheric moisture available. That rain rate overwhelms drainage systems in under 30 minutes. That is the flooding picture here. That moisture surge is the engine behind the Sunday through Wednesday outbreak already in motion. A trough digging out west will eject across the plains by Sunday evening. That trough creates southwesterly flow across the plains. The flow pattern severe weather needs to explode. 2 different flows yanking moisture from south to north at the same time. That is the setup. Texas through Illinois, what I'm about to tell you is the most important part of this forecast. Sunday, the Storm Prediction Center issued an enhanced risk level 3 across Nebraska and the Dakotas. Sioux Falls, Sioux City, Grand Island, you're in the orange zone, high ceiling on this setup. The 994 millibar surface low is centering right over Kansas and Nebraska on Sunday afternoon. A 994 land low is the kind of pressure that drives historic severe weather events, period. Iowa, southern Minnesota, if supercells fire Sunday afternoon, you're looking at a tornado day. European model shows some storms not developing until midnight going into early Monday morning. Sunday could be a long nocturnal event, alerts on all night. Do yourself a solid here. I've been staring at the Sunday models for 2 days and the environment is genuinely ripe. The question mark on Sunday is storm mode, discrete supercells versus an early squall line. Discrete supercells Sunday would mean isolated violent tornadoes. The GFS is leaning that direction. If the Euro is right and storms upscale before dark, Monday-style widespread damage threat moves up. Either way, Sunday has a very high ceiling and everyone from Kansas City to Minneapolis should prepare. Comment your city below. I give your area a specific breakdown tonight. You better believe it. Now, Monday, May 18th, this is the day that has every forecaster leaning way forward. And here's what caught me off guard when I looked at this setup this morning. Monday is not just bigger than Sunday, it could be the most widespread day of the year. Monday carries an enhanced risk level 3 from Omaha all the way down to Hutchinson, Kansas. Slight risk covers from the UP of Michigan down to Wichita Falls, Texas, a massive coverage area. Dew points in the 70s, that is tropical level humidity forecast across the central United States. Low-level jet Monday howls at 70 to 90 miles per hour a mile above your head. When thunderstorms get underneath that wind energy, they reach up and drag it straight to the surface. That is how a neighborhood loses power in under 3 minutes. That is Monday's primary threat, y'all. Damaging winds over 65 miles per hour, very large hail, and multiple tornadoes are all expected on Monday. Omaha, Des Moines, Kansas City, 3 cities sitting right in the enhanced risk corridor. Flat out. Monday, late evening, that squall line approaches Chicago and Houston simultaneously. It is that wide. Think about the sheer size here. One storm system affecting Chicago and Houston at the same time. A 1,000-mile squall line and every community in its path will have a rough night. Overnight Monday, the line pushes into Louisiana and Arkansas as the main low begins to wind down. But do not breathe yet. Tuesday carries a slight risk over Missouri, Illinois, and southern Iowa. Chicago, Milwaukee Tuesday could be a tornado day if that low-pressure system holds together. The GFS is actually showing a tornado threat Tuesday across Illinois and Indiana. Way too fast on this. This same pattern could keep the severe weather machine running into Wednesday and Thursday, folks. Cape value storm fuel are projected at 4,000 joules per kilogram Monday afternoon. Good grief. 4,000 joules per kilogram is about as loaded an atmosphere as you will ever see. No joke. Sunday is supercell day, isolated but potentially violent long-track tornadoes on the table. Monday is widespread squall line, day damaging winds affecting millions across a giant corridor. Tuesday is the wild card. If that low hangs around the upper Midwest, tornadoes are possible again. 3 separate days of outbreak level potential in a row is not something I say lightly, folks. Texas east of E35, you are the initial flooding bullseye for Monday. Bless your heart. Get ready. Drought areas going from bone dry to flash flood watches in 48 hours. That whiplash is dangerous. Oklahoma, Arkansas, Louisiana, y'all got hit hard last week, and the ground is still saturated. Saturated soil means faster runoff and quicker flash flooding. This next round hits harder for you. Missouri, Illinois, Iowa, Indiana, heavy rain and storm threat expands through your zone May 18th to 22nd. Climate Prediction Center has a moderate risk for heavy precipitation circled May 18th through 20th. That is a high-confidence federal forecast. You better believe it when 3 agencies all agree. Arkansas, Western Tennessee, Kentucky flash flooding concerns are most serious for you through Thursday. Heavy rainfall and severe weather overlap most in that corridor, too much stacking up at once. Michigan, Wisconsin, the Great Lakes further out, but the moisture plume is trending your way too. I want to be real with you about what this week actually means for people on the ground. Think about a retired nurse like Carol in Omaha. Her sister is visiting from out of town. Carol's sister has no idea what enhanced risk means. She just sees blue skies Saturday morning. Carol needs to walk her sister through the shelter plan before Sunday afternoon gets here, period. Or think about Frank running a cattle ranch outside Amarillo in the Texas Panhandle this week. Triple-digit heat today and tomorrow, then flooding rain by Monday. Livestock decisions matter now. Or think about a retired teacher like Margaret outside Wichita watching the sky change Saturday. Margaret knows this pattern. She lived through 2011 and she is already telling her neighbors. These are not hypothetical people. This is what a 6-day stacked severe weather week looks like. Now let me run the full city breakdown. I am slowing this section down on purpose. What I'm about to tell certain cities is more than a standard forecast warning. Dallas-Fort Worth flooding bullseye Monday through Tuesday. Rain rates could exceed 2 inches per hour. 2 inches per hour fills a rain gauge in 30 minutes that is not gentle rain. DFW roads flood fast because of the urban concrete. Even 30 minutes of that rate causes problems. Turnaround don't drown applies to every underpass and low water crossing in the Dallas Metro Monday. Houston southern edge of Monday's squall line. Damaging wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour are possible. San Antonio, you are in the flooding lane too with heavy rain Monday night. Austin transition zone for Monday. Severe thunderstorms possible with large hail and damaging winds. Kansas City, brutal convergence zone all weekend into Monday. 3 straight days of threat ahead. St. Louis, Friday overnight, Saturday afternoon, Sunday night, a grinding stretch locked and loaded. Indianapolis, Saturday, leftover energy plus Monday's squall line passage. Have your shelter plan ready. Nashville, Monday's trailing edge pushes through with winds and an embedded tornado risk after dark. Think about someone like Betty in Nashville seeing Monday's system roll in after a sunny morning. That whiplash from beautiful Sunday to severe Monday is exactly how people get caught off guard. Minneapolis, enhanced risk zone for Sunday. Discrete supercell potential in the afternoon hours. Green Bay and Madison, Saturday overnight and Monday evening are your 2 biggest windows this week. Chicago, late day Monday for squall line arrival, and Tuesday is your separate tornado day to watch. Chicago sits in a unique spot. Severe thunderstorms Monday evening. Possible tornado threat Tuesday. Detroit, Monday night into Tuesday morning. Damaging winds are the primary threat as the line tracks through. Cincinnati and Columbus, Tuesday. The trailing squall line sweeps through. Gusty winds and hail possible. Louisville, Lexington, right in the crosshairs of the flooding zone late Monday into Tuesday morning. Memphis, southern end of Monday's line. Embedded tornado threat after dark is a real concern here. Little Rock, heavy rain and embedded severe weather from Monday afternoon through Wednesday is likely. Jackson, Mississippi. Monday's flooding rain reaches your area too. Watch for flash flood alerts closely. Shreveport, severe weather and heavy rain from Monday through Wednesday. Y'all need to stay alert. Omaha specifically, you are ground zero for Sunday and you are in the enhanced risk both days. Bob, a retired electrician I know in Indianapolis, always keeps his basement stocked smart man. Bob told me the storm that almost got him was the one nobody was talking about. Everyone is talking about Sunday and Monday and they deserve every bit of attention. Out west, Death Valley forecast to hit 117 degrees this week. Let that sink in. Idaho pushing toward 97 degrees, nearly unprecedented for mid-May in that state. Not gonna lie. 24 projected record highs across the western tier today alone. That is not a normal day. Excessive heat warnings in Arizona and freeze warnings in Vermont are both active simultaneously today. That temperature gradient is one of the most extreme you will see anywhere in any given calendar year. Phoenix near triple digits and the body is not acclimated to May heat yet. The difference between July heat and May heat is your body spent all winter adjusting to cool air. Suddenly you're in desert conditions months early. That gap is exactly where heat illness happens. Nevada, Southern California, Western Arizona treat this heat exactly like the peak of July, period. By Friday, that ridge of heat marches. East Texas Panhandle could see triple digits this weekend. Missouri and Kansas push into the 90s by Saturday, then East Coast follows Monday. Northern Virginia could approach 98 degrees early next week, a dramatic reversal from recent cool temps. That heat surge east is loading the atmosphere with thermal energy, feeding directly into next week's storms. Record heat west, wildfire danger north, outbreak potential center this week is a lot, folks. I need to stop one more time. The East Coast picture for late next week is notable. As the storm system tracks east by Wednesday and Thursday, the Mid-Atlantic corridor comes into play. Virginia, Maryland, the Carolinas, a wetter and more active pattern builds toward the end of next week. Not the most severe threat this week, but not nothing. Keep your eyes on this. Philadelphia, Baltimore, Washington, D.C. late week rain and storm chances are increasing for your area. Charlotte and Raleigh, very wet end to next week as the system moves your way. Atlanta, the moisture plume expands south and east towards you late next week. Pacific Northwest and Northern California are watching a trough push in from the west coast. Cascades and Sierra Nevada pick up very heavy mountain snow in the late May window. Welcome news. After a rough stretch for western snowpack and drought conditions, that mountain snow matters a lot. Oregon and Washington state the drought situation. There is a slow-burning concern we keep watching. The pattern does not stay wild forever after Tuesday. A ridge of high pressure shifts east. That ridge puts a lid on active severe weather for roughly 5 to 7 days starting midweek. After the Great Lakes blizzard and now this outbreak, a breather is actually coming. And honestly, after a stretch like this one, every single one of us could use that breather. Here's the bottom line, keeping this straight and simple for y'all. Western and central North Dakota red flag warning active today. Confirm your fire evacuation route now. Kansas, Iowa, Nebraska, Missouri. A 6-day severe weather marathon begins tonight. Stay locked in. Get your vehicle under cover before Friday afternoon 3-inch hail destroys cars and driveways. Plain and simple. Weather alert device must wake you Saturday, Sunday, and Monday nights. All three carry nocturnal risk. Flood-prone areas from Texas to Illinois, start thinking about your plan before Monday morning. Southwest heat zones, stay hydrated way before you feel thirsty and get indoors during the afternoon. Check on elderly neighbors today. Both the heat out west and the storms this weekend are dangerous. Charge your phone and backup battery tonight. Multiple regions are about to deal with extended outages. People who come through weeks like this always had a solid plan ready ahead of time. Do me a solid, someone in Kansas City or the Texas corridor needs to see this. A heads up from someone they trust beats 10 push notifications they are going to swipe away, period. If you are in a manufactured home anywhere in the enhanced risk zone, identify your shelter now. A sturdy building, a neighbor with a basement, a community shelter know where you're going Saturday. Every year, people wait until the siren goes off to figure out a shelter. Do not. Have multiple ways to receive alerts: phone, weather radio, a neighbor who stays up late watching radar. Updating this forecast daily as models sharpen up. Every new run brings new details into focus. Exact timing in highest risk cities will get clearer with each passing model run over 48 hours. Every piece of the puzzle, the SOI, both models, the CPC, all point one direction. The pattern is not just looking this way on one model, it is a multi-source confirmed signal. When the GFS and the Climate Prediction Center all agree, you take that seriously. Keep your weather alerts loud, not a week to be flying blind on your forecast. Drop your city and state below tonight. I come back with your specific breakdown. Before I let you go, let me leave you with a thought about what this week actually represents. This is one of the most complex atmospheric setups of the entire year. Record heat on one side of the country, historic severe weather threat on the other simultaneously. The same country that has freeze warnings in Vermont today will have tornado warnings in Kansas Saturday. That extreme contrast from one corner of the country to the other, nobody is ready. You are going to be ready because you just spent 15 minutes learning what is coming. That is the whole point. Knowledge before a storm is worth more than anything else. 6 days, outbreak level risks, record heat, flood level rainfall, all converging on the same country. That 994 millibar low is already spinning up by Monday. Millions of people will feel what that means. 3 inches of hail on Friday, tornadoes after dark Saturday, a 1,000-mile squall line Monday. Burn those 3 numbers into your memory. That is the shape of the next 6 days. Stay safe, stay smart, take care of the people around you. See you in the next update.